Welcome to Those Working Fangirls. Wait, this feels weird. I was supposed to say, hello, welcome to Those Working Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy book, TV, movie, pop culture, fandoms, and how they integrate into
What happened here?
I lost my breath. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Christine.
And today we're doing our first ever Dear Christine and Natasha. This is like a Dear Abby. So we had our viewers or listeners write in with their complicated personal life questions, or they're asking for advice. And we will try to dubiously give you guys the best advice that we can.
Yes, I mean, we're obviously not professional advisors, so it could be dubious, but we're going to do our best, and it's going to be a fun time.
Well, Sophia said she forgot to send hers in. We're letting you know that we would like to make this a more regular thing. So, if you have something that you want us to give advice on, just send it in now, because we'll be able to do these more often, and we'll see how this goes. I'm excited.
But before we get into our main discussion, which is the Dear Christine and Natasha, we have lots of Snap Crackle pop culture news. Natasha, you have a lot on this doc. Bring us in with some news.
I have been saving all the news that has been coming out, so I'll try to go through this pretty quickly.
I have like 3, and that's it.
You usually have a ton. I usually have
I know. I was like, this is a lot.
So Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz broke up, which I think is really sad because they just got engaged.
I can't believe this. I know. When I saw this on the doc, I was like, what do you mean? What happened?
So just a timeline of their romance. They first sparked romance rumors in 2021. So they've been together for 3 years now. Obviously, we know that as Swifties because Taylor is friends with Zoe. And they kept
Channing now.
And Channing, yeah, of course. You become friends with your friends' partners. But I'm sure she'll side with, it's hard because you have to
hopefully there's not like a big upsetting fallout.
Yeah, so they kept their relationship under wraps for months, and then in October 2023, the couple was rumored to be engaged. So they've been engaged for a year. They made a whole movie together. Zoe, wrote it and directed it, and Channing starred in it. They did a whole press tour just a couple months ago, and they look so in love. I was shocked.
That's extra shock. That's really sad. Yeah, I'm sad for them.
I'm sad for them too. Okay, next. Do you want to go with one, or do you want me to go?
Sure, I'll quickly do one. Well, we got new Lady Gaga music for the first time in a long time. I mean, of course, we had the Harley Quinn album, but that really went along with the Joker Folie à Deux movie. This is Gaga. And it's called Disease. Have you listened to it, Natasha?
No, I haven't listened to anything yet.
You haven't listened to it at all? You have to watch the music video and listen to it.
I know. I saw that.
Disease. I don't know all the words yet, but I do sing along with it when it's on. I love Lady Gaga, and we haven't gotten like a Gaga music video in a long time. Like this is early 2010 Gaga. The music video is fucked up and weird and artistic, and I love it. And it's about your inner demons and how you ultimately are the only one who have the ability to cure yourself of your inner demons or work with your inner demons to function. And all of that. Yeah, it's really good.
Shot says me not thinking it might be about COVID.
You guys have to watch. Y'all have to watch the music video. It's a really fun Gaga video. Like she is all different demons she's just playing all different ones of her demons, and she's like in this neighborhood that looks like where you and Taya shot the pumpkin head shoot.
In just a random neighborhood, you mean?
Yeah. It just looks like that same vibe.
Okay. I'll have to watch it after the show.
The full album isn't out yet, but she has a tour scheduled for next year called Disease in 2025. So I'm assuming she's going to drop an album that goes along with this single. And I'm excited because if this is the vibe for back to 2010 Gaga vibe, like that's my favorite era.
Well, that's exciting. Next, Chris Hemsworth.
I'm gonna send you the music video so you watch it.
Yes, please. Thank you. Next, Chris Hemsworth is in talks to be in the new Prince Charming Disney film.
What is the Prince Charming Disney film?
I haven't heard about it until just now.
Oh. Is it from his perspective, like of Cinderella or something?
Well, Prince Charming is
Shrek.
Snow White's, right? Is Snow
Everyone
White's
is Prince Charming. I don't know.
Well,
Everyone calls the Prince.
Charming. Charming is Snow White's. Dush. No, that's Once Upon a Time. Prince Charming is specifically Snow White's prince.
I just watched Ella Enchanted, and his name is like literally like Char.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, Prince Charming is, yeah. So I'm wondering if it's like an amalgamation of all the princes.
That would be very funny, actually.
That would be funny.
I could see him doing that. He wants to do comedy, I feel like.
Shayla says that, LOL, Prince Charming is just Ken. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So there aren't any plot details yet for this new movie. It's under wraps, and it's actually not clear if it's going to be live action or animated. But the guy who did Wonka with Timothy Chalamet, his Paul King is directing it.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Who are these people that wrote the screenplay?
I don't know. I just wrote their names down. Name is Simon Farnaby and John Crocker are also co-writing the screenplay.
I think there's potential for something like this to be very funny and very Shrek-like.
Yes. Would you want to see it in animated or live action form?
I'm kind of leaning toward animated if it's like Shrek-y in terms of the comedy, but I don't know. Depends what the comedy style is.
I kind of want to see Chris in it, but I do think it might be more of a like it feels like it could be a James Madsen. Is that his name? James. Marsden is like Enchanted situation.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think it would be fun to see him, like his face, and the fact that they casted Chris Hemsworth. I mean, you kind of don't really cast Chris Hemsworth just for the voice. I feel like you cast him for the face.
Wait, everyone's having a fight in the comments. Okay.
What's
Katie
going
says,
on?
me randomly knowing that Snow White's prince is named is Florian.
Florian? This is not a fight.
Christy says, Charming is Cinderella's prince. Melissa says, Philip is Aurora's. The way I'm looking them up now. Okay, wait. So Prince Charming is Cinderella's, but in Once Upon a Time, he's named Charming.
I know. I do remember Prince Charming being something in Cinderella. That's why I said Cinderella. But I think they're all named Charming. I think we just call them ubiquitously
the men don't
Prince
matter.
Charming.
It's all about the
nobody
princess.
cares. Katie says, I think Prince Charming is like his government title. Like, exactly. Oh my God. All right. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
In other music news, Halsey released a new album called The Great Impersonator, and it is very good. I don't know if you've been seeing all the promo for this because I don't know if you follow Halsey Natasha, but she's been, every song is kind of in the style of a different artist that has inspired her throughout her life. And so she's got like a Dolly Parton song, Britney Spears song, like I don't know if it's Evanescence, but like that style song, like all the different styles, but it's all about her journey throughout her illness the past couple years, I think. And because when I listen to the lyrics, I get very sad. I have only listened to it once, but I have like 3 of the songs on my book writing playlist right now. It's very good. And I love, there's the Britney Spears song is like, she's so lucky. It's lucky, but it's like rewritten with her own lyrics with like a little bit of like a pop punk backdrop feel. It's very good. And I love Ego and Panic Attack. Like there's a lot of good ones, but it is an emotional album.
Okay. I've never really Christine loves music a lot. I will listen to the people that I like, and that's about it. So it takes me a while to get out of my like comfort zone to listen. Like I just recently added Beyonce to like the person that I listen to a lot. So I'm getting there.
Yeah, no, I mean Halsey, not as huge of a fan of every single thing she's done, but I loved Manic and and The Great Impersonator has more of that vibe than the past one, which was more of like a rock album.
Okay.
Yeah, not even. It was like very intense,
Yeah,
metally feel.
I've really only heard her like really popular ones.
Yeah, you'd recognize a bunch of the ones from Manic probably because they got really big.
Okay.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, so I don't know if y'all know about this, but they have redone Count of Monte Cristo. I just found out about this. It was, I guess, announced last year. But Sam Claflin is playing Edmond Dantes, the main guy from Count of Monte Cristo. And it's going to be a miniseries with Jeremy Irons, and it should be coming out in early 2025. They've released some images of it already, and he looks so good. I love Sam, and I know like we love Sam, so I had to talk about this.
Yeah. Wait, I wish I knew Count of Monte Cristo better. I
you
get
watch
it mixed
the
up with
movie?
all those. Is that the really like silly one? Or
No.
What's the silly one that I'm thinking of? With like all the horses, people being horses, and like the shooting each other being silly, like satirical one.
Oh, that's
With the castles.
yeah, with
Why
John
can't I think
Cleese.
Yeah, what is that, and why can't I think of it? But it's like a cult classic.
Is it like Monty Python?
Monty Python. Okay, I always get that confused with Monte Cristo because I haven't watched either of them.
Yeah, no. So the Count of Monte Cristo is a revenge story. And I loved the movie when I was younger. And you want to know who's in that movie? It's Henry Cavill. It's his first role. He plays the son, and he like pops in at the very end. So I've known about it for a long time. But it's Alex and I, we love this movie, so I'm really excited.
Wow.
It's supposed to be the most book accurate. I don't really care
So
because I've
Count of
never
Monte
read
Cristo
it.
is like a serious movie.
Yeah,
This is so wild to my brain that has them interconnected.
No.
So deeply.
yeah. In the story, I don't want to give too much away, but it basically like it's about two best friends, and one like seriously betrays the other, and he gets sent to jail. And then there's a whole tunnel scene where they dig out of this prison.
Oh, like that movie with Morgan Freeman, Redemption, Shawshank. Redemption.
Do they tunnel out of the prison in Shawshank?
Yes, that's how they escape.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a critically acclaimed book, and it is a classic novel. Katie's getting, I can tell.
She's getting frustrated.
Monty Python. And I think you're just getting confused because there's Monty, but it's spelled differently.
Oh, is there a Monty?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah, that is why. That's why.
Yeah.
Even her saying that, I was like, are we talking about Monty Python or are we talking about Monte Cristo?
No, it's the Count of Monte Cristo. Anyways,
Count of Monte Cristo.
we don't know when it's coming, but it's coming at the beginning of 2025. Okay.
Can I just say, Catherine just said, this is like me thinking the Three Musketeers and the Three Stooges were the same thing until like a month ago. That's hilarious. See, I know the difference between those because I had a parent obsessed with the Three Stooges. I've seen all of those.
That makes sense. Was it your father?
Yes, it was. Who else would it be? I've seen all the Three Stooges and all the Little Rascals from like the 20s, 30s.
Okay, next. There's a new movie called F, Marry, Kill, and it's with Lucy Hale.
What?
Yeah, they did a whole movie about Fuck, Marry, Kill. And it's coming out on December 6th, and it's going to be a rom-com horror.
Interesting. So, like Stephanie Perkins's horror book that I haven't read. That's the vibe I get from that.
Yeah, Sophia was like, I didn't understand if it was scary or funny in the trailer.
Yeah, Katie says Lucy Hale keeps showing up in the most random things. Like her resume is crazy.
She's the queen of rom-coms.
She's all over the place. I wouldn't say queen of rom-coms, but she's just like everywhere you look.
I just have one more thing, but you do
I
your
want to
thing.
know. Well, do you want to go first? Because I want to know, did you know that's Twilight surprising fact? What is this? What Twilight surprising fact?
Okay, I just found this out. I was just scrolling on Instagram and I got served this thing that it was before John Mulaney got his start on Saturday Night Live, he was an extra in Twilight.
What do you mean an extra in Twilight?
Yep. Do you know, can you figure out which scene he's in the first
one?
one?
Tyler?
What?
Was he in the car with Tyler?
Nope.
Was he in the cafeteria? And did he go, was he in the window when they got a boop?
Nope. He's playing more of an adulter character, like an adult extra character.
Ooh.
Okay. In the scene where they have their first date and they eat the mushroom ravioli, he's fucking sitting right behind Bella.
No.
Yes.
With the guy who's like cat with the beard. I can't see, it's blurry.
Okay, well, people on the YouTube will be able to see it. But,
damn it.
So when you watch Twilight again and you look over Bella's shoulder, I think they call him out. He's one of the people that
is he one of the people that he reads his mind? Is it cat? It's not the cat.
It's not the cat one.
Money, sex.
Money. It's one of the like money sex ones, okay? And then when asked about his time in this scene, he states the mushroom ravioli was bomb.
It was bomb.
It's so good.
I feel like we were there because we always have our mushroom ravioli and forks.
So that's a nice Twilight fun fact that we're now learning, almost 15 years later?
That's insane. How random.
I know.
Just casually doing some background work behind Kristen Stewart. Wow. All right. Well, bringing us into today in Taylor Swift, we are gearing up for the last 6 shows of the Eras Tour. So as this airs today on Friday, it is her not anything. She doesn't come back till the 14th. So as this airs on Friday, we still have 6 shows left. She's going to be in Toronto and Vancouver. She already had her last US show, which is crazy. And I was watching the live stream for her last show in Indianapolis, and John Green was there. And I watched the surprise songs. I had the show on like mute on on my old computer, and then I was doing my book on my new computer, and I just kept like looking over just to make sure I don't miss the surprise songs. And when she got to the surprise songs, it was like all my favorite songs. She did Cornelia Street, Mashed with Boltar, amazing. And then she did
good.
Death by a Thousand Cuts mixed with The Great War. And they were both excellent and made me tear up. And I was just so excited. I was like, she knows I'm on the live stream.
I'm wondering, I know you probably haven't finished Agatha yet, but someone says Death by a Thousand Cuts, and Tay and I were like, Twilight? I mean, sorry, Taylor
Twilight. Twilight on the brain.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever because she has so many sayings, like these are normal sayings that humans say, but she's popularized them by putting them in songs. So now like humans can't say these sayings without being like Taylor Swift, like all too well. Like you can't say I know that all too well without being like all too well. It's just she's ruined a lot of regular sayings. Not ruined, but like made them Taylor Swift's now.
Katie says I can't even say isn't it without doing delicate.
Delicate, I know. When I think the word delicate now, I just think of Taylor Swift.
Yep. That was like when I was super Twilight obsessed, and every book that had the word Twilight in it, I would highlight. I still always, when I see a Twilight in a book, there's the word Twilight, I'm like, they're making a Twilight reference. Yep.
And I always make sure to say Twilight in my books, and that's a Twilight reference. I just made a random Twilight reference when I was writing last night. I had to have I had to just write down some names of boys, and I was like, Cedric, Rob, and Ed said.
Wait, I love that. I can't wait.
Anyway, Taylor is wrapping things up. She did a post yesterday about her last US show, and she was like, see you soon for 6 more shows. And I was like,
someone said that she's doing 6 shows in Toronto and 3 in Vancouver.
Was she talking about 6 shows in Toronto then when she said 6 more shows?
I don't know.
She used the number 6.
That's weird when she has 9.
Let's just pull up the post. See you soon for 6 shows in Toronto. Okay, so she's talking about Toronto. Okay, wow, this changes what I thought. So maybe she will announce it in Toronto. The number 6 is the number of Reputation's album 6. So I'm clowning now for Toronto. I thought it said 6 more shows because I obviously just read this very quickly. I have become the biggest rep clown. This is literally it's this thing where you see so many people talking about it for so long that you want to get in on it, and now I can't get out of it. Melissa, you're clowning for debut. I'm clowning for a double drop, honestly. I just want them all to be done. I don't want to clown anymore. I want the schedule. I want them out and be done with it.
Move on. We're done with this.
I am done thinking, worrying, just projecting. She has gotten into all of our heads with all of her little hints. If you look at her Instagram profile right now, going all the way down is yellow, gold. So everyone's like, oh, it's debut. She's hinting at debut by having yellow all down one column of her grid. And then her last 3 photos were 3 people in the Reputation outfit, and then 2 people, her and Sabrina, and then 1 person. So people are like, it's a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, bitch. I don't know.
That's a lot.
Honestly, she's done shit like that with her Instagram before, and that's why people are doing this. This is why people are crazy, because she's done it before. There was a book that I wrote that is out called Attached at the Hip right now. Survivor is rocking right now, and the season is really amping up to be very entertaining, season 47. And if you don't care about Survivor, I have a book called Attached at the Hip that is kind of like Hunger Games-y rom-com, and if it's available wherever books are sold, it's my favorite book child. And sorry, I don't mean to play favorites, but it is. And if you have read it and really enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate if you took a second to review it on whatever platform you read it on, whether that be Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Audible, wherever it is. It really helps me continue to be an author, because when you review it, that site will push it to new readers more and allow people to find the book. So thank you so much if you've already done that. And if you plan on doing it, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. You supporting my author career. All right. This is big news. Okay. We're 2 years old. We missed our 2-year anniversary.
2 years old.
Those Forking Fangirls is 2 years old. All right. And this is the shirt I wore on our first episode, October 27th, 2022. And I wore it on our anniversary last year. And wearing it today for democracy.
Blue. I'm not wearing the same shirt. Actually, I don't even remember if what shirt I was wearing. I think it was like a button down, maybe. I'm wearing a voting like a girl since 1920. That's my voting shirt today.
See, I think I remember this very vividly because I think I edited that episode, so I remember my outfit. But yeah, we're gonna move right on into, I think that's all our news today. What right now? Natasha, what have you been reading?
I actually have been taking a break. I was reading Immortal Dark.
I literally read that and thought that was a book title.
No, take a break.
Run away with us for the summer.
Let's go upstate. Yeah, no.
So relevant.
I'm not reading anything right now, but I would plan to soon.
I mean, nice. You've read a lot, so
I have. I kind of overdid
a break
it.
is warranted.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I did boom, 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 like in September and October, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough for now.
Yeah, take a breather so you don't get burnt out. I have been listening to Three Body Problem. So last episode we talked about our favorite TV of 2024. My top TV show was The Three Body Problem, and while we know that there's going to be more episodes that Netflix is going to put out, they didn't call it a season, so I don't know if it's going to be like 2-hour episodes or something. Like we don't know what it will be. So I wanted to read the book because I want to know what's in there, and it's been so fascinating. First of all, I realized that I've been reading too much romance, and I needed to mix it up, and we're going to do an episode about that. So I won't go into detail there, but like it turned my brain on. Like it was giving what my brain is like when I'm reading Dan Brown, where I'm like taking in new information and really like filing it away and putting things together. And I loved that. And it turned on a part of my brain that has not been working. And then not working, but it hasn't been on. And it felt really good. And it's so wild because The Three Body Problem, the book, is just following like two characters. We don't have the friend group in this first book. I have like 2.5 or 3 hours left on this 12.5-hour audiobook, and I have not met any of the friends that are the leads in the show.
How many books are there?
There's 3, I think. I haven't,
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that, but I think there's 3. So I'm really interested to see if like this adaptation takes characters from the other books and kind of like, creates an ensemble cast in that way. 'Cause I think they did a really effective job with that, because what gives the show so much heart is that friend group.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us really invested. And in the book, we're really following the woman that we follow through the 1960s in China, and the guy in the show who is a detective. In the book, I'm pretty sure he is is a scientist that we're following. So it's really interesting. Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. No, Christine was talking to me about it. I was like, oh, I want to read something like that again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
I
feels
love a good sci-fi.
What have you been watching?
Oh, so much. Okay. So Alex made me watch this miniseries, which was a Japanese miniseries called Ju-on Origins. Because Alex he's just all he wants to watch is like horror, scary things because of Halloween and that season. And I was like, okay, fine, put it on. It's the true story of The Grudge, which is originated in Japan. And it wasn't very scary. And it just kind of
scary.
Like it was semi-scary, but not like too scary. I feel like I've seen like So The Grudge was a movie first made in Japan that was based off of true story in Japan, and then America took it. I think with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Based off a true story?
Yeah.
Or a legend?
No, a true story.
The Grudge?
Yeah. Like
a monster that came out of
it's
like
not
a
monster.
picture?
It's like a spirit. It's like a ghost, a spirit ghost.
Wasn't it like in all her pictures? I just remember being scarred by that movie.
Yeah, like it was. I think it was in all her. But the like Hollywood, dramatized
it. Okay.
So this was like the true story of it. And I don't believe in ghosts myself, but I think what it was, honestly, this show showed that all these people were doing terrible things because of this like evil spirit ghost thing. It was very different from The Grudge. I wouldn't recommend. That's my point. Is Alex and me watch it, and I was like, yeah, okay, that was something. Moving on.
Right.
I watched all of Heartstopper and
Yay.
absolutely loved it. I just like those boys are just the sweetest little things.
I know.
And
They're so cute.
it just makes my heart so happy watching them.
I love them.
Like, just and it was very interesting. Let me just tell you, watching Agatha all along alongside Heartstopper. I was like, Joe, this isn't you.
It is so weird seeing Joe be even the slightest bit snippy and Agatha all along.
Yeah, he's such like a soft little boy.
He's just so
Heartstopper.
sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah.
And also Kit Connor is just the nicest, kindest, the guy. I mean, the character, I don't know himself personally. Charlie. He's just...
Is his name Charlie?
Yeah, I think so. He's just... Wait, no, Charlie is Joe.
Charlie's Joe. Wait, what's his name?
Nick. And, but I just think Kit Connor, like, I feel old, right? Because he's young, and I think he's the cutest, like, most handsome, like, perfect skin, perfect face. I think he's adorable. I love him. And they're just so cute. I really want to go see the new Romeo and Juliet. Like, I think that would be so fun to see him on
he's in the
stage.
new Romeo and Juliet play on Broadway, for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah. Okay, you say some. I've got two more.
All right. I watched The Only Murders in the Building finale, and I think it was my favorite finale. I cried. And I have a newfound respect for Only Murders in the Building, the show, even though I always have, because I've been watching it all this time. But I just thought it was really, really sweet. And I've been catching up with Agatha all along. I haven't finished yet, though.
It's so good. So I accidentally threaded something where I said it was not my favorite. I meant to say it is now my favorite Marvel cinematic like TV series. It's probably my favorite thing. Like her and WandaVision are about like on par with each other because they go into each other, you know, like it just feels like a continuation of WandaVision. But I loved it. I'm thrilled with it. I want more. And they actually submitted the series for Emmy nominations. So hopefully it gets nominated. Maybe the first Marvel. We'll see.
What about movies?
No. I got one more TV show. I have to talk about this.
Rivals.
Okay. Rivals. I saw this trailer drop and I was like, oh, it's another British television show that I need to watch. It's set in the 80s. It's like as if Succession meets The Gentleman, which if you listen to last week's episode was really, really high on my list. The Gentleman, which is on Netflix. Oh my God. It's so good. I definitely conspired to have Alex watch it since he was like, since I made you watch that show last night, you can pick the show you want to watch tonight. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put on
Alex voice. Since you.
That's how he is. He gets all like hoity-toity for some reason. I put on Rivals and he's like, did you trick me into watching a romance? I'm like, there's parts of it that have romantic. It's not the whole plot. Like, calm down. So basically the plot of this show, it's on Hulu and on Disney Plus. We follow, it's set in the Cotswolds, which I love the Cotswolds, in the UK. And it's about a television network. And they bring over, it's Aidan Turner plays this character, Declan, who works for the BBC. And he like wants to be more edgy and like do more investigative work. And so David Tennant brings him over to this network in the Cotswolds to be like, it's like the second network in the UK to have his own talk show. Then there's other characters who are in like the aristocracy, Jesus Christ, the aristocracy. So we follow this family that's kind of being intertwined with the aristocracy, the aristocrats in the Cotswolds. And there's revenge and there's gossip and drama and there's
David Tennant
and there's cheating, and it's just a dramatic show. And there's this one really, really, really great romance. I'm only 4 episodes in and it's so good.
It's on Hulu, right?
Yes. Hulu. Also, weird thing for us Poldark people. I mentioned this on Threads and in our Fangirl Hangout session. Aidan Turner in Poldark for 6 seasons. He moves into the estate Trenwith that they use in Poldark in Rivals. So they're using the same estate in both shows. It's very weird. For
Big
me.
Easter egg.
It's an Easter egg. All the interiors are the same. It's weird. I was like, as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, it's Aidan Turner from Poldark. And Alex was like, oh, and I'm like, wait, is that the estate that they use? And he's like, no way. I'm like, and I looked it up. I was like, it is.
That's wild, but exciting. Like I feel like I'd be excited.
Watch him secretly own it, Gabby says.
He owns the estate. Film it at my house. I needed a movie to watch during my break because I need to watch things that I can't get too invested in right now. Mm-hmm. And so I opened up Max because I haven't been there for a while, and I saw there's a movie with Dylan O'Brien called Cadeau Lake. So I went to Rotten Tomatoes and I was like, what's this movie doing on Rotten Tomatoes? And it was 76%. And I was like, all right, let's turn on Cadeau Lake. I had no idea what I was doing. But it was like a thriller and it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah, it was. I would say don't watch the trailer.
Yeah, I did that.
Because don't say the thing that you saw from the trailer because I feel like it's nice to not know that. Because I was pleasantly surprised when that started happening.
I'm annoyed that I did that.
It's still, I think, worth the watch because there's more to it than that. Obviously, or else they wouldn't, I think, put it in the trailer, but it's a thriller. Dylan O'Brien plays a guy who works like in the swampland in one of the southern states. It doesn't really matter what state it is, but like it's giving Where the Crawdads End, like that sort of setting where you boat to places. Mm-hmm. And
like the marshes.
An 8-year-old girl goes missing and the whole town is trying to find her.
Yeah, Alex, we were trying to watch something, gonna pick something to watch. And I was like, oh, we should watch this with Dylan O'Brien. And he's like, no, it has bad reviews.
It doesn't. That was a lie.
We definitely tried to watch, like, I think we were looking at movies to watch a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if the reviews have changed.
Maybe, I don't know. But I enjoyed it. And Dylan O'Brien has a southern accent in it. And
was it fun watching him in the movie or?
Yeah, I always love watching Dylan. And whenever anything happened to him, I was like, Dylan! I was on board. I was sat for that movie.
Okay, I want to watch it. I watched Woman of the Hour with Anna Kendrick. I think Christine talked about it last week. But it's about the dating game, and it's about the dating game, and there's a serial killer who's on the dating game, and this is a true story based on a true story. Okay, as Alex and I were watching it, and I saw the title of the show she was going to be on, Anna Kendrick, I was like, wait, was mom on the dating game? And because I remember this, it was like my mom's like, oh my gosh, I did this thing when I was younger. So my mother was a contestant on the dating game. And I texted my aunt. I'm like, as I was watching it, I'm like, was mom on the dating game, right? And she goes, yes, I just watched Woman of the Hour. I'm like, oh my God.
What? And do you know how old she was when she was on it?
Really young. I think she
oh my gosh.
was like, I think she was like 19 or something, like
holy
super
crap.
young. I forgot to ask them about it yesterday at breakfast. But there's definitely a VHS of it floating around. So
you must find it.
I have to find it. No.
And a VHS player.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I know.
VCR. Oh my God. VHS player.
LOL. Natasha's mom lore just dropped. It's I definitely remember her talking about how she was on the dating game.
You have to see the guy she chose.
I know. I don't know though if she was like the girl picking, because sometimes they had guys, or she was one of the. That's what I was trying to ask. Okay. I forgot to ask my aunt about that. Yep. So.
Wild, man.
Wild.
That's so cool.
Love to see it. And see her like super young on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's almost like catching a YouTube video of your mom.
Mm-hmm. It's
so cool.
Well, it's like California. Like we all there's like some random. I'm sure like if I ever have kids and I'll be like, I was at this thing. It's
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, like how she was on a show, because usually not a lot of people have that story, but because we live in California, these happen more regularly to us.
Oh,
because we're near production.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, my cousins are on like Kids Say the Darndest Things and shit. Mm-hmm. The ones that live out here.
Yep.
But I thought that was like a thing that just happened to everyone when I was little, when I learned that they were on the TV show because they live in Los Angeles. But like, you have to seek it out. You have to do the thing. Yeah.
It doesn't just like fall in your lap.
I know. I'm like, does everyone just get on TV shows in LA? When I was like 7. All right. Well, we are going to move on into our main discussion. Finally, dear Christine and Natasha is coming. But first, we want to take a quick second to thank all of you out there listening. We appreciate you being here with us so much. If you're not already, we'd love it if you followed the podcast in your favorite podcast listening app, whether that be Apple Podcasts or Pocket Cast or Spotify. You can follow the show for free. If you'd like to watch the visual version of the show, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/@those4kingfangirls. There's a video version of every single episode. So if you prefer that, you can subscribe on YouTube for free so you never miss an episode there. And if you don't know, we have a Patreon because we're a viewer-supported podcast. We're able to do this because of viewers like you and supporting us. And we offer a bunch of fun perks on our Patreon. At the $5 level, you get the show ad-free. Mm-hmm. So no ads. That's what ad-free means. And you get to come to the live recordings, be a part of the conversation when we're referencing things that our people are saying. Those are our patrons in the chat. And you also get our half an hour extra show, Fangirl Tea Time, attached to every single show. So you have 97 episodes of Fangirl Tea Time now when you become a patron to go back and listen to.
Oh my goodness.
It's super fun. We have so many stories we tell on Fangirl Tea Time. And we just get more personal. We get to know our patrons. It's really nice. Mm-hmm. So if you want to become a part of that community, the link is in our show notes. It's patreon.com/those4kingfangirls. And you can do a 7-day free trial to see if you like it before you commit to the Team Jacob tier. And then there's 2 other tiers too. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who already is a patron. We couldn't do the show without you. And thank you all for listening. And we'll be back after these messages, if you're not a patron, for the main discussion. Woo! Woo. All right. And we're back. Natasha. So today we're doing our first Dear Abby.
What is a Dear Abby? What does that mean?
Dear Abby is like a famous column in the newspaper where people would write in about what's something that's going on in their life and ask for advice. And then she would reply at the Dear Abby column. So you would read and then it just became synonymous for any column like that. It was like a Dear Abby. Mm-hmm.
And now it's more like podcast people do it from Reddit though, when they do Am I the Asshole?
Well, no, am I the asshole? But podcasts like Dear Hank and John, that's what it is. It's a Dear Abby podcast. You write in and they respond with advice.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that the Dear Hank and John was an advice podcast.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense with the dear.
Yeah, anything that's dear this and this, that's what it is. It's like a Dear Abby. Do you want me to kick us off reading the first letter that we have?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay. So this one isn't anonymous, but if you want to write in and be anonymous, just say that you want to be anonymous. Okay. Hi, my name's Grace. I love the podcast, and I'm about to go on a 30-hour road trip with my stepmom. Sorry if we already missed this. And I haven't seen her in about 2 years. Let me preface this with saying that she hates tattoos, and I now have 7, and a couple of them are decent size. So my question is, should I just show her right away and get her rant over with, or let her slowly figure out I have more than the one she's already seen? And also, if she does start a rant, do you guys have any advice for handling that?
I have been around this situation because my cousins have tattoos.
I have too.
And my grandma, I just remember a time when we were like at the beach and my grandma saw a tattoo on my cousin. She's like, what is that?
There's nothing to be done once they see it. But like the same thing happened with Paul when he got his first tattoo, and he showed me a picture of it and he was like, don't tell Ma. I wouldn't say anything. I would just, because maybe she won't even know it is. Because sometimes people are just in their own little bubble and they don't know. What do you?
I wouldn't be like, here are my tattoos. I definitely wouldn't do that.
Would not do that.
But I also wouldn't try hiding them. I
wouldn't hide them. I would just be like, not mention them until she mentions it. Slow reveal.
Definitely. And like, if you have 7 of them, I'm assuming like they're not all visible because of clothing, and it's just it's not even worth it to be like, I have one on the side of my boob or something like that.
Yes.
Like,
well, I don't think she was.
I mean, or like, like her abdomen or
something.
something.
Like, all right, let me just show you. I got a new tattoo on my boob.
I'm saying like on her abdomen, like underneath her armpit or something. I want to see my butt tattoo.
As far as handling it, I feel like she'll get over it pretty quickly. Like, I don't think this is something that you hold a grudge for.
No.
I mean, I think it's your body, and that's what it comes down to. Like, it's my body, it's my decision. Mm-hmm. Very relevant right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like if she starts a rant, like maybe just like let her talk, and then know in your heart that you're just letting her get out her feelings, and then you can just be like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but when it comes down to it, it's my body. So
yeah, and like obviously she wouldn't want that for herself, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. And so maybe it's like, this isn't something I understand like that you want for yourself, but I have never had that opinion, and I've always wanted to display art in my body, and this is the way that I plan to do it. So there's nothing that you can do to change that because it's already there and it's permanent. So sorry.
Yeah, I love it if we could let this go now. Yeah. But I do think like in situations like that, a lot of times they're ranting because they can't do anything about it. But once they get that out, it's kind of like they're done. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah. And it's, and like you kind of have to know that they're probably going to be disappointed, but oh well, they'll get over it.
Yeah, they'll get over it. It's like the stigma that they grew up around probably that's lingering, that's causing those feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We were told in a evangelical Christian household to never get tattoos and also like never pierce anything. Like my grandma still doesn't have pierced ears.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was in a household where it was like no tattoos either. Like tattoos are terrible. Never want to put something permanent on your body. It looks terrible. Blah, 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 blah. Like they just say all the things. It's up to you. And if it's meaningful to you, that's all that matters.
Next. Dear Natasha and Christine, my name is Julia and I've been following both of you since roughly 2017. Well, thank you for being here. I love the podcast and the insights that you bring. I'm in my mid-20s and haven't dated since my teenage years. In my church-heavy environment, I am pretty much the only single friend. A lot of my friends and acquaintances are already married. I basically quit dating. We're there with you. 2 months ago, I met a man. He is kind, considerate, funny, and handsome. Together, we can talk about anything and laugh a lot. I feel very grounded and secure with him. My problem is that I still experience major anxiety whenever we see each other, and it doesn't seem to get better regardless of how well we know each other. I honestly don't know what causes this, since before this, I only have experienced school-related anxiety. Have you ever been anxious because of dating? How have you dealt with that? What can I say to explain that to him, that I like him, but my body is breaking out and hyperventilating before every single date with him? I really want to keep seeing him, but it just seems so exhausting. Recently, I have been making excuses to at least go a week without major anxiety attacks. Thank you so much.
We feel this so hard.
Yeah. It's so hard because it's like you want to have someone in your life,
Yeah.
but it's causing you so much anxiety to go through that process.
This man, though, does seem like he's a good one, according to how you're describing him. And if you do want to keep dating him, I honestly think at this point, if you are having like your body's breaking out in hives and you're hyperventilating, like it's time to talk to, like, I don't know if you see a therapist, but talk to a therapist or talk to your doctor, because medication and therapy can be life-changing. And honestly, that's what was happening to me, because I was breaking out. I was like having my intense anxiety symptoms for like the first month of dating. And then if it doesn't work out, you just start all over again. I do think that probably it would eventually get better, but it will take a while if you're still having it like a month in. And I would talk to your doctor, because you don't want your anxiety to rule your life and prevent you from having experiences that are going to make you happy in the long run.
Besides going to the doctor, like definitely, therapy can be expensive. Psychiatry can be expensive. So like if you can go to your GA and or general GP, sorry, and talk to them and see what they can do, that might be your best bet.
I mean, there are therapists though, like if you have health insurance, like there are ones that are in network. You just have to work harder to find.
Yeah, you just have to call. You have to call your insurance.
People, yeah,
and ask them for a list of therapists and psychiatrists who are in your network. Ask them how much it would be in your plan, and then you get that list and you just start calling. Yeah. That's what I had to do.
That's what I had to do too. And out of the 8 I called, I got like 3 calls back, but only one of them had availability. So it's tough. You have to just kind of, it's worth it. So you have to think about it the long term. And it's definitely worth also looking into like medication if it's really bad.
Yeah. But outside of that, especially, then that's a little bit of a longer process. Like Katie says, it is helpful to open up to that person that you're dating and let them know that it's
sometimes
not
it's
them.
helpful and sometimes it's not. But like if it's, some people don't understand. Because I've opened up to multiple people about this, and if they're a good partner, it's great and they're understanding, but like, and if they've experienced anxiety, it's fine. But if it's someone who doesn't get anxiety, sometimes it makes it worse because they say all the wrong things about anxiety. Like the exact opposite of anything you want to hear. And it makes you more anxious. But hopefully this guy is a good egg, and definitely talk to him about it. I remember on one date, I was like, on one of my, like, I was dating this person. I went on like 3 dates with him, and I couldn't eat. And like, he was like super understanding about it. But also I was like getting hungry by the end of like the dates. And he was like, you have to start eating on our dates. I'm just like, I want to eat. This is so annoying.
It's not fun because it's sometimes like going on a date ruins your whole day.
I know it does. And it's like, not when you're actually on it, it can be fun, but like it's ruined the day because you are sick, anxious all the way up to it. Yeah.
I feel like I watch people on TikTok who are like, I'm going on a date today, and they're like super excited. I'm like, don't know that feeling.
I'm just like I am in that mode where I'm just like trying to do anything to keep myself calm leading up to the date. But like the dates when I was on the fluoxetine was like the calmest dates I've ever experienced. I was still anxious, but like so much less than normal. It was crazy.
Megan says my current partner doesn't understand getting anxious the same way I do, but I talk to them about it more, and they care about me enough to do what they can do to learn and be there for me. It's possible.
It is possible. It's just really dependent on who you're dating. And hopefully they're understanding. Yeah. Okay, Katie. So I was just listening to Synced and they were talking about how there's this article in one of the major papers. I forget which one it was, but about like the hardest cities to date in. And number one is New York City and number two is LA.
Well, duh.
I know. But it was just like nice to have some like hard confirmation.
It was funny because like Taya was talking about, she's like, I'll talk about this in tea time, but what we were doing. But she was talking about, she's like, if you go to Iowa, where her hometown is, she's like, you would find someone so quick because the dating pool is so small and that's what people are actually looking for instead of, but it's like, I'm not looking, like I am looking for that, but at the same time, I'm not. Like I want to find someone who's also in like an industry that understands. Yeah.
I know, exactly. Like I feel like it would be much easier to find a husband if I was like in the Midwest, you know? But at the same time, like I am ambitious. I'm a city girly. Like I don't want to be out there. I don't want to like marry someone who's expecting to like settle down and have like 5 kids. And I feel like that's a lot of the mindset of people who don't live in the cities.
Yes. Katie says, yeah, but the con is you have to date someone from Iowa. Says me, who lives next door to Iowa.
Yeah, you have to find like the Iowa unicorn who wants to go to the big city.
Oh, lordy.
Next here. Dear Christine and Natasha, I'm in what feels like a friendship dilemma. I don't know how to slowly back away from this friendship. There's no outward conflict or tension that could signal the end of this friendship on both ends because I don't think this friend is actually aware of what she's doing. And I came to this conclusion after a few hangouts. What's been happening is that this friend, let's call her Catherine, I realized she just isn't very nice to be around. Our hangouts were usually fun getting food or doing an activity with lots of laughter, but there would always be some one-liners from her that would be combative to something I'd say or another friend if they were with us. I always took this as like, this is just how she is, and something that was never that serious, and it would happen maybe once a hangout, but we've been friends since high school. So I think I tolerated more than what my usual friendship standards are now as a 23-year-old if I were to make a new friend currently. Fast forward to the most recent time that we hung out where she seemed to show more of her true colors, from shaming me not to jaywalk with her across a very busy street to trying to force me to walk 45 minutes to our destination because she didn't want to drive to a closer parking spot. I tried to explain how it wouldn't be safe walking that distance since we'd have to walk back the same way in the dark once we were done. She reluctantly agreed, but overall it just was not a fun time and she was just kind of rude. There's a lot more that happened adjacent to these examples, but I didn't want this to go on forever. After she dropped me back off to my apartment, I called my boyfriend because I just had a bad feeling about her, and he was upset on my behalf and said no friend should ever shame me for just having common sense and a certain level of comfortability with things. I decided over the summer I would distance myself anyways from her because of her combative attitude and comments, but this was me hanging out with her at arm's length already. Because we hadn't hung out in a while anyways. I feel best to distance myself from her altogether now. However, I truly don't think she's aware of how she acts on her end, and she thinks we're still good friends. She replies to my stories, she'll text me occasionally, and if I use the excuse of I'm busy the next few times she wants to hang out, I know for a fact that she'll ask if we're okay and if she did something wrong. So my question is, how do I handle the situation if she does ask if something's wrong? I've never dealt with a close friendship ending this way. Usually it's a mutual agreement or mutual drifting apart, but that's not the situation. I'm afraid she'll blow up on me or manipulate me by being extremely apologetic, but repeating the same cycle and being rude, causing me to sink deeper into the friendship. And this is from Anonymous. This is really hard. Like I think we've all gone through a friendship like this where like you want to distance yourself, and I think if you truly don't feel like you want to hang out with her, you have to probably, if she keeps texting you, it's probably nicest to tell her that in some way, Natasha, maybe you have some wording. I don't know. In some way that you don't think that this is a healthy friendship.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to decide for yourself, like, if this is exactly what you want, right? So you have all these pros and cons about this friend. Are the cons outweighing the pros? It seems like it is. And that this is not someone you want to keep around, because you kind of have to keep in mind, like, I think the biggest transition period for friends is between that high school and 25, because you're doing so much changing yourself. Your friends are changing around you, and it's okay. It's okay to not be friends with people that you were friends with when you were children, because if you've both changed so much. And like in your 23, like, you know, your frontal lobe both your frontal lobes haven't fully developed yet. So, but you know, they might be developing at different stages.
And you're growing in different directions, obviously.
Yeah. So you kind of have to decide yourself, if this is something that you want, that you don't necessarily want to be friends with, you kind of have to stick to your guns. So if she texts you and she says, "Are we okay?" You can either do a few different options. You can tell her, "No, I'm not okay, and these are the things," and you can write it out and text it to her. Or you can hop on the phone, let her know that these are some of the things that have hurt you, which can be very anxiety inducing. So
and it sounds like she thinks that will make a difference, because she'll apologize, but nothing will change.
Yeah. So you kind of have to also think about your peace as well in this situation. Basically, what you have to say is, in the past, I felt this certain way. You want to make it about yourself and how you feel. You don't want to tell her that she's done something to you, because that way she'll get super combative. You have to be like, "I felt this way about this situation. It's making me feel this way about this situation. And I don't want to feel that way towards you. So I'm going to slowly step back." And so you kind of make it about yourself, because if you just put you on the other person, it's not going to be the outcome that you want.
Just come up.
No one wants to feel like the bad guy, right? And now it's going to have to be up to you and your responsibility it's going to be a hurtful situation if she comes at you and wants to know why, because then it's your responsibility to make that first step and let her know that this is not something that you want. So then that way you have to put it on yourself and let her know that these are what your feelings are. These are your true feelings.
But like, so when you say like, "Oh, and I'm going to step back," is that what you would write in a text like that? Like, because I don't know if they would understand that, right?
No, yeah. I mean, I would say like, you know, I haven't felt validated in a while. Like, I'm feeling shamed and not confident in myself when we're together. I think just for the health of my mental health, I mean, I think taking a step back is maybe the nicest, kindest way to explain that, instead of
like take a break.
Yeah, take a break.
I think what's best for my mental health right now is to take a break.
If you do care for this person, also reassure them that you care for them, and you hope for the best for them, and then that kind of solidifies that.
Yeah. It's really, really hard. Like, I find it so difficult to send texts like this. I feel like most of the time, I don't know. Actually, I don't think I've dealt with somebody who would consistently messaging me after like that. Yeah. When I felt uncomfortable. Natasha definitely has.
I have. That's because I don't put boundaries up with people, and Christine's a lot better with boundaries. So this is your situation to put those boundaries up, right? So you saying, "I want to take a break," that's a boundary, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a good learning experience. Like, you're not going to just like, you're possibly going to lose a friendship, which is going to be okay. It sounds like this is what you want to happen. But it's a learning situation to start putting up those boundaries. So if someone is treating you that way, You just have to know yourself. Okay, I don't want to be treated like this ever again.
Yeah.
What do I have to do in the future to make sure I'm not treated this way?
And if they do become combative and don't respect your boundary, you could mute them or block the number if it becomes like angry. Hopefully it doesn't get like that.
Like, honestly, if it becomes combative, it's not worth your peace.
No, it's not.
You said what you said. You made your choice.
Mm-hmm.
You move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Block the number. Just get it off your chest. Get it off your desk.
You don't want to always bring up like examples, right? Like if she has said something that has made you feel like has been belittling towards you, or that you felt like her attitude in this situation, like you don't want to bring up those specific things, because then there's nothing she could do about it at that point. You can just say how you felt because of those situations, not because like you told me that I look like shit this day and that's why I don't want to be friends. This is what you say. I felt belittled, and that is not something that I want in a friendship. Okay.
Yeah, it's so hard. I feel like I've had maybe one person that tried to be friends with me that I feel like they were always just saying bad things about other people, and I hated that energy. And I never like said anything specific, but I just ended up like muting them on my socials, and I didn't respond to one text, and then they never texted again.
Katie says it's not your responsibility if setting a boundary hurts someone else's feelings. Period. Yeah. Best case scenario, it will be a wake up call for her.
Should we move on?
Yes. Hey, Christine and Natasha. Am I the asshole for being mad at my sister-in-law? Took me a while to figure that out, by the way.
Me too. I finally got it.
She said
it says AITA.
for being mad at SIL. I was like, what?
Still? Ida?
I know you guys are both close with your siblings, so I was wondering how you would deal with not liking your sibling's partner. I've never had to deal with this. Basically,
we have friends, partners. I feel like it's kind of a similar sitch.
Yeah. Basically, my youngest jumped into a relationship and married a girl pretty quickly. I got a lot of red flags from this girl pretty early on. She is someone who oversteps boundaries with everyone. She has messaged people in my partner's family that she has only met a few times and asked them for favors and super personal questions that upset them that she asked, etc. She was also super clingy towards me and wanted to be around me all the time, calling her sister and saying things, as your sister, I have the right to see your wedding dress, etc. I just had 2 kids under 2 and was trying to balance all of that, and she was constantly messaging me, trying to come over for dinner and stopping by unannounced and waking my kids up from their naps. She made a drama of the fact I invited my brother to hang out with me and didn't ask her along. I feel like I can't hang out with my brother anymore alone without her being there or it being a drama. She also is someone who seems to make up stories that aren't true and lies quite a bit, and she is always talking bad about people, which isn't someone I like to be around. But she seemed to make my brother happy, so I pushed it aside and tried my best. Recently, though, they almost split up because he caught her messaging people, men she works with and other friends, telling lies about him and saying they were separated when they weren't, and other bad things about him that aren't true. I'm really annoyed by this and finding it hard to forgive her, but he is still with her and I don't know what to do. As an older sibling, my urge to protect my younger sibling is strong, but also doesn't seem like my place to be mad at her for it if he can forgive her. But I also don't want my young children to get attached to her, as I just don't see this marriage lasting. What do I do?
This
Divorce.
The whole chat is just like divorce. Oh my God. This is really hard because it is your sibling and they need you to support their decision. But I think that you have the right to voice your concerns in a kind way one time. You can't keep repeating it, but you can voice it once and make sure you pick like a time where something really upset you. But after that, I feel like the best thing you can do is just support him in his decisions and try to not have her come over. Like, it sounds like she's just like trying to stop by all the time. I would maybe have to have a talk with her and just be like, hey, like I'm fine. Like, I don't have the words right now.
Okay.
I'd have to think about this and write it down because it's scaring me just thinking about it, because I can imagine it so easily.
I think when you do voice your opinion to your sibling, your brother, and you say, the one time that you choose to talk to him about this, you have to let him know how the situation makes you feel and how you're worried for him. And then you also, again, here we go again, you have to set boundaries for yourself, and you have to let him know. Because if he's not in the know of these boundaries that you set, then that is what is going to create the rift between your sibling relationship.
Yeah, she is going to go to him about you if he does not already know your concerns.
Yeah. So if you don't want her to come over because you don't want her getting close to your kids, then you have to let your brother know that. Say, like, these are all the things of why I'm concerned, and I don't like that she lies and this and this and this and this. And this is why I won't be inviting her over anymore to our house. I will be kind to her in a family setting, but I do not want a personal relationship with her if she continues to do this, and this.
Yeah. This kind of confrontation is like, gives me so much anxiety.
Oh my God, Christine.
So anxious for you. I'm so sorry that this is happening. Like, the fact that she keeps trying to stop by and waking up your kids from naps. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's also like respect, right? So she obviously doesn't respect that, and she
doesn't respect you. She's doing that.
I don't know
lies,
but also
stories.
Like, yeah, and like, you don't always have to tell someone like, hey, like, please don't stop by unannounced and wake up my children. Like, you tell them once and they keep doing it, then they obviously don't respect you. Yeah. But you shouldn't have to tell someone that. Katie says, it's a really messy thing to get involved in other people's romantic relationships. Sometimes you have to let the trash take itself out.
All day I've been like, the trash will take itself out.
Really? Like, because you have to say but sometimes like unfortunately, because it's a family situation and she's going to be involved, like, you do have to put your boundaries up at least once. And then that's it. Then that's it. That's all you can do. You can't intervene anywhere else, because people got to make their own mistakes.
Yeah, people have to figure it out for themselves, and it can be really upsetting waiting for that to happen. And
then you get to say to your sibling, I told you so.
Oh, no, you don't. Don't say that. They do not want to hear that.
No, I know.
No, that will cause more of an issue.
I've recently been learning, like, if people want to make their mistakes, and I just can't let it affect me. Like, I'm not going to be there to also come like and clean up the mess, because I said my piece. I let them know, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll be there for you, but like, also, that's my piece. I don't really want to do that for that person if they continue to do something that I've already told them that,
All right. Dear fucking fangirls. Name my firstborn child for me. I'm 24 and 4 months pregnant with my first kid. My husband and I had so many girl names, but we just found out it's a boy. We agree on 0 boy names. Oh boy. Can you give me any good book character names that would work for a modern child? Any guys you dated who just had really good names? Literally just name my child.
Listen, I have a whole Pinterest board of just names.
All right. Male names, though, from, like, do you think that there's going to be a wave of rice sand children coming into this world? I bet there are.
It's Resand, because I would never name my child Rice. So
okay, what is the difference between Rice and Reese? Nothing.
Rice is something you eat. Reese is a Reese Witherspoon. Got it? Like,
But
it's already
Reese
a
could
name.
also be a Reese's Pieces. It's already food.
But it's already a name. Rice is rice. Rice is essential.
I'm sure there's somebody named Rice. I am 1,000% positive.
Reese is a
Anyway.
real name. It's Welsh, Christy says.
I'm not saying it's not a real name. I'm just saying like names could be anything. So what about oh my God, I just blanked on Cassian's name. I feel like there will be Cassians coming into this world.
Yep.
Azrael's. Like I feel like all of Sarah's names are going to be children's names in these next 5 years. I do love
sure.
Zayden. Zayden is such
Zayden
a hot
with an-
name.
Yeah, the thing is, though, if you name someone Zayden with an X and they go by alphabetical order, oh, wait, it's either X or Z. So I guess X is better than Z because it's not the very
But
end.
a lot of times they go by your last name when they do alphabetical order.
Cheyenne says, I'm the biggest fan of Finnick.
Me too.
Yep.
I love Finnick. Yes.
Okay, I really like the name Cullen.
Oh my God. It's like a first name.
Yes. Like, it's not like too on the nose.
I could see it. I like the name Liam a lot. I feel like I can't name anyone Liam, but I, from The Darkest Minds, love the boy Liam. I love Dorian.
Oh, well, yeah, Dorian.
Christy says Darius.
Darius. Oh, yeah, Catherine Kit, because of Kit Connor and Kit Harington. I do love the name Kit. I think it's...
Not Kale. I hate the name Kale.
It's... No Kale. That's... Everyone would think that you would be named after the vegetable. I like the name... Like Remington.
Remington the Third.
Remington. Theo, because of Theo James. I
like the name Theo.
Well, I love Greek names, and so like I've always wanted to name like my daughter some sort of like Athena, like Athena, Thea, and then Theo is like more of the male version of that. Helios.
I'm still weirdly attached to Sparrow because of Jack Sparrow.
I like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I like
Pilot.
it too. Pilot.
Okay, Katie said Hercules. I
think it's a little much.
It's too much. I think Herc. I think that's cool. Like
Herculean.
Herc Riccio.
I don't want a Herc Riccio.
Herc Polis.
Herc Polis. There you go. Herc with Riccio on the end sounds like a gym bro.
Draco. I want to name my next animal Draco.
I would never name my child Draco, but like an animal, yeah, I could see that.
Draconimus.
All right, should we move on to the next question? I think we gave a lot of names.
What about Lucian? Although that
has gotten popular. That's actually on the list. I saw it when I was looking, when Cynthia was looking at baby names. Okay. Hi, ladies. My name's Jessica, and I recently found your podcast after a friend recommended it. Since then, I've been obsessed, and I've been backlogging all your previous episodes. Oh, thank you. I'm 30 years old, and I never knew you guys from your early YouTube days. And I had no clue how I missed out because it sounds like everything I would have loved. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you found us. Hello. All right. My husband, Lilo, and I have been together since our senior year of college. We met in class as we are both engineers. However, we majored in different disciplines. We graduated in 2016, bought a summer home 2018, got married spring 2020, and had a wedding summer 2021. In fall of 2022, we had a good friend, Jeremy, move into our house as a roommate to help him save money in hopes to eventually have a down payment for his house. Okay. Little backstory on Jeremy. We all met in college. He's also an engineer. However, he's the same discipline as I am. So in college, I had nearly every class with him, but Lilo only had a few. That's her husband. Okay. Class sizes were small, so I knew him well, but we were never really good friends. well-known acquaintances, but definitely not someone I would ask to move into my home. After college, I never really thought I'd see him again, but a few years into my career, he got hired at the same place. We started working together every day and realized we have a lot in common and became really good friends. We bonded over similar interests, similar senses of humor, and similar anxieties. We'd hang out outside of work, and it turns out he gets along really well with my husband. So when Jeremy was single, living alone, hanging at our house all the time and paying a ton for rent, it only made sense for us to ask him to move in. Our house had several empty bedrooms and enough space that it wouldn't be an inconvenience. Now, I know this is gearing up to sound like a throuple question. Trust me. We've made the joke a million times, but our relationship with Jeremy has always been 100% platonic, and no one involved has ever wanted otherwise, despite how wild of a story that would have been. But while living together, Jeremy and I went from being good friends to one of my best friends to basically an extension of my family. And during the time we lived together, I experienced the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life, and he was there for all of it, from my struggle with infertility, pregnancy loss, and all throughout a successful pregnancy and the birth of our first child. Jeremy was always around to laugh or listen whenever we needed most in that moment, and I'd like to think that we provided all of that in return as he was dealing with struggles of online dating and moving into his 30s single. Around the time our daughter was born, Jeremy started dating this really great girl. That summer, it made sense for our roommate journey to come to an end. He got an apartment with his girlfriend, and my husband and I have our moms over a lot for childcare and needed that spare room back. The parting was amicable and felt like the natural progression for everyone involved. No hard feelings. We're all still best friends. We just see each other less. The day Jeremy moved out, he thanked us for all we did for him, and we all cried. I'm not good at speaking my emotions, so I wrote him a really heartfelt card. I know he got it because he said to me, I'm not emotionally ready to read this right now, but I'll get back to you. And well, he never did. We're still best friends and see each other at work every day and chat about everything under the sun. So on paper, nothing has changed except he doesn't live here. But it's been 4 months and he's never mentioned the card. I don't know if he read it and had nothing to say, or it got lost in the move and he never even read it. So I want to know, what do I do? Do I bring it up? And if so, how? It didn't say anything that I wouldn't have said in person. I'm just awkward and better with words than conversation. I mean, easiest answer is I forget about the whole thing, but I wrote a lot of meaningful things and it's killing me not knowing if he even read it. So please help. What would you guys do?
Okay, so this this is turning into something. I was like, where is this going? And I'm like,
I know.
oh.
It sounded like it was going to be so scandalous, and then it was so sweet. Like, I wrote him a really sweet letter, and he won't say if he got it or say anything about it.
Yeah, this is more of a your question, because I would upfront it, ask him.
I would wait for his birthday.
What?
To come along, I think, and maybe do the same card again.
No, that was terrible advice.
Okay, first of all, it's dubious advice. Second of all, I feel like I would bring it up subtly, maybe when there was a card. Like if I saw somebody else get a card and I'd be like, oh, did you ever get that card that I wrote you when you moved out? Because he never said anything. And if he says, oh, I lost it, I would write that stuff in his birthday card, because I'd still want him to know, because obviously she wants him to know that about her feelings, and how much it meant to her, all the stuff that he did for them. Because if you feel like you can't say it out loud, then you still want him to say it. I think the next chance to say it is in a birthday card, but I wouldn't, out of the blue, if it's been 4 months, be able to bring it up. I would bring it up when there's something that relates to a card. I could transition.
Chrissy, just gotta ask, love. Hey, was wondering if you had time to read the card I wrote you yet? Megan, is it the girlfriend? I agree, Christy. Oh my God, just ask him, from Megan. Nicole says maybe he read it and loved it, but didn't think to say anything back to her. Like he just had a special moment with it while reading and then moved on. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that could be it. But if you need to know, you can You could text him. Maybe he'd be more comfortable being
just
texted.
Text him, just being like,
Yeah.
hey, I know it's been some time, but I just want to make sure that
You got the card.
you got the card and
I
you
was
read
just
it.
thinking about, thinking something reminded me of it.
You know,
Yeah.
it made it through
Yeah.
the move.
Yeah. Yes, that's good. Yeah. People like, I know it sounds like it's so easy to just ask, but yeah, some people have a lot of trouble like sharing these like deep feelings when they're like nice feelings about somebody because they get really like embarrassed and choked up. And maybe that's the type of people they both are. And it's hard to say it out loud. And if you feel like he'll feel awkward, if you say it out loud, then texting is much safer for both of y'all.
I think that's the best bet to go. Just text him. This is from our lovely patron Shots. And she says, hello, my first name is Chateaubisha, which is kind of long and hard to say. Most of my friends say Shots, which I like. However, it's not exactly something I can use in corporate environment like at my job. I did introduce myself as Shots early on, but no one laughed, lol.
No one laughed.
I usually introduce myself as Chateau, which also people mispronounce a lot. So my question is, given my first full name, help me come up with a shorter version of it that I can use in a corporate environment. Go crazy.
And then she signed up, don't take too many shots.
We call her Shots because
Shots.
it's so fun to say.
Yeah, but I can totally see your dilemma here in a corporate environment. You don't want them to be like, Shots.
Shots, what do you think about this? Shots, what do you think about that?
Because it does sound like super like friendly.
Wait, so it's Chateaubisha. So why don't you like Toby?
I was thinking Toby too, but like maybe if you don't like the name Toby because of The Office, then Toby is that annoying person at the office. What about B? Yeah, I kind of like B. Our chat is saying B. B is cute. It's short. Oh, Toby is kind of cute. Okay, Shots doesn't have the office baggage of the name Toby.
Yeah, so Toby, B, or even like people call me Tasha. You could just be like Bisha. Like my name's Bisha. I like that.
I like that too, but if you're looking for something people can't fuck up, definitely like B or Toby. Asked to be called Supreme Leader, Katie says. Megan says, I thought Bish or Bisha. I like those. Yeah, like what Natasha was saying, like the second half of your name.
My nickname is not the first half of my name. It's always the last half of my name. Like it's always like Tasha, Tosh, Tashi. So like you could be like Bishi, you know, or
well, you don't want to add like Bishi sounds cute and like at home with your friends again. I think like Bish or Bisha sounds more like a work environment. I was like, what about Shot? Drop the S. It's less like a party name. You could always go. There was a girl named Christine in one of my classes that was like, my name's Adrian. You could just like make up a random different name.
No, I feel like she needs to stay true to her name. Like
no, you want to. I was okay. When I say these things, I'm being dubious.
Okay, sorry.
I can't make any jokes. It's terrible advice.
It's not computing in my head. I'm sorry.
But,
Shot says,
yay, Bisha.
these are all great. Changing my work to Bisha immediately. Okay, I love
Work
that.
name, yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's really cute. Mm-hmm. And professional.
Bisha and Tasha. Sorry. I'm relating it to my nickname.
As a punishment for jokes calling Christine Steen now forever. Like, I don't know if I would even realize people were calling me if someone was saying Steen. Paul, when he was a baby, used to call me Histine, but like that kind of sounds a little bit more like Christine, and I would turn.
It sounds like, what's the medication that you take?
Fluoxetine? I don't take it anymore.
No. Like when you're allergic to something, it's called
an antihistamine.
Yeah. Alex, when he was editing that one show, when you said that you want to be called like a nickname, and you said you liked Chris, and he's like, oh, I'll try to start calling Christine Chris.
Never happened. No one calls me Chris except my cheerleading coach. This is the only time I ever had a nickname.
Do you want me to start calling you a nickname?
You can call me Bananas.
Oh my Lord.
Anti-Christamine. That really sounds like the Antichrist. It's too close.
Okay. Wait, have I ever...
My name is literally Christ.
Well, my name backwards is Aw Satan. So mine's worse.
At this point, it's like my nicknames. I have so many fake nicknames that people don't call me that it's like weird to make up a new one.
Yeah,
unless it's a new person.
Extine May,
Poland bananas, X.
Yeah, Jesse would call you bananas all the time.
Yeah, like that actually caught on. And I would call him Jesseth and Cat Kitten. Mm-hmm. 20 shots. That'll just be a number now. Hey, 20.
Yeah, it's little
Anti-Christine and Aw Satan. Those fucking fangirls.
Yeah, because like your shortened name is literally Christ.
I know.
I just called you
aware.
Christ. It's not easy.
Those fucking fangirls from hell episode on election day.
Next. Hi.
All right.
So I got out of a 4-year relationship about 6 months ago and I started to dabble in dating again. But I have basically no experience. My ex and I met freshman year of college and I never dated in high school. Last weekend, I had a slight meet cute with a boy. Oh, I forgot about this story. Okay. I was standing in line for a bar and I made eye contact with this really cute guy who was across the street from me. We both did a double take and made eye contact again, but then he kept walking down the street. The double take? What? So I went into the bar and forgot about him, but then about an hour later, I ran right into him. As soon as I realized it was the same guy, I started to say, I saw you outside, and he said the exact same thing at the same time.
This is so book.
So book.
Or stalker.
It's giving you. We started talking.
Hey, I don't fake run into people.
No, you. The show.
You. Oh, the show you. I was like, what are you saying?
Oh, no.
It is giving you the show. But hopefully it's not. They just accidentally.
Hopefully it's kismet. Okay. We started talking and actually had a lot of stuff in common. I couldn't stay for long because I was with my friend for her birthday, so we exchanged Instagrams. Now we follow each other, but he hasn't reached out or done anything. Should I wait for a few more days to see if he says anything? Should I reach out? Should I just forget about him and go on to the next? Any advice is appreciated. Thanks, Sophie.
I say, what do you have to lose?
Boys are dumb.
Comment on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be flirty.
Comment on a story or like something. Just open a line of communication and see what he does.
I did this and unfortunately it didn't work in my favor, but at least I did it and
you did it. That's what counts.
That's what counts.
Yeah.
Yes. I multiple times. I think about 3 non-reciprocated. So just, you never know though.
You never know, and it's scary, but it's honestly like, why not? Mm-hmm. Or else it's just another thing that is just like didn't pan out.
Yeah,
missed connection. The worst that happens is like he doesn't answer, and I feel like
and then
you
that's
just move
your
on.
answer.
That's your answer. Unfollow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would like, comment, do something, interact, and see what happens after that.
Yeah.
If we learned one thing from Travis Kelce's friendship bracelet, Katie says, shoot your shot. You miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah, true.
Yep. Christine and Natasha, I'm hoping for some advice about being my sister's matron of honor. Oh, this is our last one. Okay. Hi, Christine and Natasha. I'm hoping for some advice about being my sister's matron of honor. I got married in 2024 and she was my maid of honor. She's getting married in 2025 and I'm returning the favor. We plan to be each other's maid of honor since we were little. What advice do you have for writing a toast speech? Is including a quote okay? My sister is a romantic and a big fan of Nicholas Sparks novels. Any advice on planning a destination bachelorette party? Are there games or party favors you recommend or avoid? How much should be kept as a surprise for the bride? All thoughts from you would be greatly appreciated. I hope you have a nice week. DFTBA. Best wishes, Jenny.
What does DFTBA
I
mean?
don't forget to be awesome. Nerd fighter.
Oh, I am not one of those, so I would not know. Got it.
So first off, the toast speech. My best advice here is to base it around some funny stories that you have with that person. And you can use a quote, but like it's giving kind of like the classic essay outline when you're like, Oxford Dictionary defines love. But like if it's a Nicholas Sparks quote that you can thread into a story, like talk about your childhood, maybe like this. I would, if it's your sister, I'd block this out like, okay, a story about childhood, right? Something funny, something that also talks to her character and who she is that you could relate back today. And then think about her time maybe dating before that and a funny story then, and then her meeting her partner and a story about the two of them or your experience with their partner and how you think that he's perfect for her or something like that. Like, and you want to like start thinking about these stories and then look at them together and then find the common thread that you can open and close with, where it'll like bring it all into thematically something fluid. Like for Olivia's, it was like her dream of being a housewife ran through all of the stories. And with Jenna, it was like I centered it around like how we were inseparable and like just a couple different traits about her. Like you want something to tie it all together. I think that's what makes a really good speech.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, if it's Nicholas Sparks novels that tie it all together, like you can possibly mention it.
Yeah.
You know, when she was in high school, she read all of them and then maybe tie that into the very end.
Hitting the note of like how you guys met, but you're sisters. So like something from your childhood. That's like a basic toast thing. Like they want to know, you want everyone to know how you know the bride. and don't just be like, she's my sister. Like give a story from sisterhood. I think anecdotes are the way to go. When there's someone up there that's like, my brother, we've done so much together. Remember that vacation we went on?
Ugh.
We went to Italy. We did this. Like that's not a speech.
No.
That's just like what to avoid is just like saying inside jokes.
Yeah.
Those are always the worst. Remember that time we went to grandma's?
And then the no context after that.
No context at all. dot. So for Katie's, I remember I was like these are 3 things that make Katie such an amazing friend, and I like had like stories for each one. That was my first time doing it. And I forgot some of the jokes because I memorize and read. I mean, memorize and just go off the cuff. Not my best, but it's like having some sort of format is really helpful for the speech to feel fluid.
Also, like, read it off to people before you're done.
Oh, this is a big part of the speeching. Yes.
Big part.
You want to practice your speech at least 3 times for 3 different people.
And then ask, like, okay, what in the part, like, which part did you like the most? Which part was I losing you?
And you register, like, their laughs, obviously, too, just from being there.
Yeah. And, like, obviously, Christine and I, we like to perform. We are content creators. Like, Christine's done acting. I've done acting. And, like, we like to make a crowd laugh, right? That's not for everyone, but
well, everyone likes to make a crowd laugh.
Everyone likes, everyone wants to do well, okay? So like to do well in a speech is to make people laugh and also feel like, you know,
and
an
cry.
assortment of
Emotions.
stories. I mean, of emotions. So like you kind of want to make sure to hit all of that. Like, like
you want to say something deep and nice at the end or in the middle.
Yes.
And I wouldn't practice it like 20 times because it's going to start not being
good.
It's going to come out stale. Yeah. You want it to still be, I'd say, between 3 and 7 times is the sweet spot. Yeah, I feel like that must be a mistake that a lot of people just don't practice their speech.
Yeah. Kelly said one of her bridesmaids gave a speech in the form of a romance novel at her wedding. She told their love story through the lens of romance tropes and funny stories to go along with them. It was so fun and might be a way to tie in Nicholas Sparks.
That's kind of what you're doing too. You're telling like their love story when you talk about how they met. This is also a thing that I really like to do. Ask both of them the story of how they met separately. So that you get both of their sides of the story. Because that usually also leads to some funny fodder. I did that for Jenna. And that was like one of the main things. Like Jenna told the story in like 2 sentences and he gave me like a novel, a romance novel version of it. And with Olivia and Brian, it was the same thing. Brian gave me like some really sweet anecdotes and Olivia gave me one line.
Katie says, what would you say is a good time limit?
It depends. Like if you are not like a performer, I would say like 4 or 5 minutes.
I went 10.
I went 10 as well. If you like to talk and you feel like you're a good storyteller, I think like 8 to 10 minutes is going to give you a really nice arc. Oh, and Jenny said, I'm going to warn the audience that I'm going to try not to cry. That also is really helpful. Yeah, that's like my top tip is like go up there with the microphone before you start and be like, I'm going to try to get through this without XYZ, whatever your insecurities that you think are going to happen when you are doing your speech. Say them out loud. Take away their power.
And then she said, any advice on planning a destination bachelorette party? Are there games or party favors you recommend? I mean, honestly, and should it be kept a surprise from the bride? Ask the bride. Ask your sister. Does she want it to be a surprise?
Yeah. If they want it to be a surprise, you can keep things a surprise.
Yeah. Sometimes they've got a lot going on and they don't really care. I will care. I will want to know where we're going. I will probably be planning most of it. So it just depends on the person. And
yeah, it really does.
Honestly, I don't care for party favors. I think they're just trash. People will throw them away. Like spend your money.
I think there are good party favors. I am very partial to the sweatshirt. I feel like that is such a nice thing to have. And everyone can wear it and look cute.
Yeah.
And
I think like
bring it home
matching,
and be cozy.
Matching like sweatshirts, matching pajamas, like those are the types of things.
The things we hate are like those stupid t-shirts because you're never going to wear them again and they're ugly.
Yeah.
The ones that are like
I got like a racer back.
Bride Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that.
Like no thanks.
The sweatshirt is like, I still wear the sweatshirts from all of my maid of honor hoods. That has been my go-to party favor. I made them for Olivia's bachelorette. I made them for Jenna's and I made them for Katie's. And they all have like different cute sayings on them about the bride. Advice, I think definitely plan some games. My favorite part of Olivia's thing was doing the Jeopardy about Olivia. At Jenna's we played like the underwear game. At Christina's we played the underwear game. Like so everyone brings like a pair of underwear for the bride and hangs them up and then the bride has to guess who got each pair of underwear for her. So like you can do underwear that kind of like maybe is an inside joke or you know, whatever.
Yeah. Gabby says her best friend wants it to be a complete surprise and she's very stressed.
Can she give you like a brainstorm board?
What about a budget?
She wants beach. Okay. At least 3 days. Okay, so she's got a little bit. Well, I love doing the pole dancing classes at bachelorette parties. I think it's such a fun activity and you learn something and it's like silly and it's organized because sometimes people don't organize anything. And we went ziplining on one of my cousin's bachelorette parties. That was fun.
I would hate that.
Yeah, there's like a lot of, it depends where you are, you know, like that's what was in the area that we were at. We went to like brunch. The bride got really, really drunk. I like when I go to brunch at these bachelorette parties because you're usually in like a hotel or something.
I like a brunch too. I like getting like dressed up. I love a boat day.
The boat days are expensive, but everybody loves it.
Yep. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and I think getting that stupid app where like you split the money is helpful for bachelorette parties. Was it like Splitwise or something? It just helps keep track, because that gets really complicated, because every dinner, like you're putting down like one card and everyone has to pay you back. Ugh. Oh, Shot says Venmo has a split thing too now.
Yep.
Is it as sophisticated as Splitwise? Oh, wow, it actually is. Okay, cool. Well, I think those are our advices. I also just, when you're planning a destination bachelorette party, you don't have to go to the most expensive place in the world. I think the most fun part of bachelorette party is being around all your friends in this one place from all these different eras of your life. And the most fun at Olivia's was when we all sat on the beach and we went around and told funny stories about Olivia.
Yeah.
And we were all like hysterically laughing and having the best time.
Yeah.
So
Well, like, I've been on only a few, but like, we went to Cabo for Kayla's. My favorite part was like the brunch, and we all told like very lovely stories about both Matt and Kayla, because it was a group one, and also going to the club, because you're just around everyone, and we have our own table, and it was so nice not to be bothered by any other people. And I was like,
but that's rare. Like usually those tables are like $5,000.
well, we were in Mexico, so it was pretty cheap. Heather's, my favorite part was being in the hotel room and ordering breakfast. And having like just a fun time in the hotel.
Yeah. At Katie's, like we had, it was just me, Julia, and Katie, and we went to, we did oh my God, what are those? Escape room. We did an escape room together, and then we went to like a speakeasy bar for a little bit. Then we went to like a nice restaurant, but like the best part was like being at my apartment and like having a dance party and like playing card games together.
Yeah.
Like it's always those moments where you're just like hanging out and like playing a game together and chatting that are the best.
Shot says my college friend just booked a cabin in the forest for the weekend for her bachelorette, and it was really chill but very fun. Oh
Yeah.
would love that.
That's so nice. Like when hopefully I had to have a bachelorette, like I just want to have my friends in one place and like play games and eat good food.
We should book Bella Swan's house.
I don't know if I want to make people go all the way up there.
Yeah,
It's far.
it is far. Not as far as you always flying to freaking Florida for bachelorettes.
Oh, not going there. I would probably want to go somewhere that I haven't been, because I like exploring new cities.
Yeah, it's true.
But like somewhere in the United States, so it's not like very expensive.
Hawaii?
That's really far for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, I don't want to say Nashville because I don't really know anything about it, but I have never been there. Like, so I don't, probably just somewhere in California.
I think we should go to Hawaii for yours. That would be fun.
This is so, like, I don't even know somebody yet.
Okay. Since it is Thanksgiving month, I decided that I'm going to do all pumpkin themed things. So, Mary Kiss Cliff, pumpkin muffin with cream cheese filling, pumpkin bread, or pumpkin pie.
All right. Pumpkin bread, I'm going to marry. I'm going to kiss the pumpkin muffin with a cream cheese filling.
Okay.
And I'm going to cliff pumpkin pie because I only like it when there's a lot of ice cream to cut it with.
Ice cream? You don't like it with whipped cream?
I like vanilla ice cream better. I will use the whipped cream if I must have pumpkin pie, but I would rather cut it with some vanilla ice cream, so I just have like a little bit of pumpkin with vanilla.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yesterday for breakfast I had pumpkin pancakes. Oh, they're so good. Yeah.
That sounds good.
It was really good. Okay, I am going to marry pumpkin bread because it's the best version of pumpkin.
So good.
I'm going to kiss pumpkin pie and cliff pumpkin muffin with cream cheese filling. I get a little nauseous from that.
Sick. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had it. I've just seen it. So I just know pumpkin pie is not my fave. I cannot understand people who eat straight up pumpkin pie with no whipped cream or ice cream. I'm just like, just the pumpkin
Yeah, I do that.
mush.
I even like when I make pumpkin pie and I have like leftover filling, I won't even have it with crust. I'll just put it in like a little dish.
Oh my God. I would be like, I need a really thick crust to cut it.
No, I put in a little dish and I bake it, and actually that's my favorite part. And then, well, I do put whipped cream on it then, but I like it warm out of the oven.
Yeah, but without the whipped cream, it's just a bunch of like pumpkin.
Yeah, I like it. I love pumpkin. I'm a pumpkin connoisseur.
I guess I just like ice cream way better. I'd rather have like apple pie any day. I love apple pie.
Yeah, I like Dutch apple pie.
I like when it's like cooked a lot. I don't like when the apples are like hard.
No.
All right. Remember we got that super sour apple turnover in the UK? We're like, we must get the apple turnover. It's their specialty. And it was like the night we were in that city that was really small where they had the castle. Penzance.
Yeah.
Penzance. We were in Penzance and we were at the only place that was like open. They were out of everything. And we were like, we're going to get this apple turnover. They're not out of that yet. We got the 2 last apple turnovers and it just tasted like beer.
Not a great eating experience, that's for sure.
No, that's when I got the burger that was like, oh, I think I'm getting a pulled pork burger, but it was pulled pork and a burger.
I got like basically like boiled fish and vegetables.
Yeah, it's not the same over there. We make apple pie much better.
The UK is not known for their food. Except for halloumi cheese, but that's not technically from the UK. That's my favorite. Okay, moving on. We're done.
We're done. That's our show. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you all so much for being with us today. Our show is edited by Alex Polis, Natasha Polis, Christine Riccio, and Ricky McBrayer. Our music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. Our socials are done by Chloe Laverson. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Those Four King Fangirls or TikTok at Those Four King Fangirls. Thank you all so much for being with us. We release new episodes every Friday. We'll see you next week, and we're off to go record Fangirl Tea Time if you're a patron. We'll see you there. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye.